So here's the deal. Right now, you are as successful as you want to be. In fact, you're as blank, fill in the blank, as you want to be. Let me explain that. The most powerful human motivator is desire. Desire separates us really from what we wish for or want and what we actually have or are. I have a friend who does Ironman competitions. And if you're not familiar with that, Ironman is this crazy thing where these guys do kind of marathons where they ride a bike, swim, and run, and it's just amazing. And my buddy is so in shape. He's buff and, just chiseled and has a Ironman tattoo on his shoulder. It just looks cool. And I really wish that I looked like that and was that healthy. But you know what? I'm not. Because here's the problem. He wants to, and I don't really want to. I kind of wish or think it would be cool, but I don't really have a desire to do that. He gets up at 4 in the morning, runs, bikes, swims, and then goes to work all day. At 4 in the morning, the most exercise I'm doing is rolling over and maybe snoring. That's about it. See, the difference between him and me is desire. He wants to, and I don't. This is the key with desire. If you really want something, you'll do it. And not having something that you want or being something that you are is simply that, a problem of desire. I was recently talking to an executive that I coach, and he's real successful. He's a C-level executive in a big company. They do about $4 billion a year in sales. And I was asking him about his goals, and he said, Tim, one of my goals for this year is I really want to be closer to God. And I told him, I said, man, that is really a good spiritual goal and one that you should have. But let me let you in on a little secret. You're as close to God as you want to be right now. No closer and no further away. And that the issue of drawing near to Him, the issue of being successful, in business, in your family, spiritually, emotionally, with your health, is a matter of want to. And if you're going to perform at the highest level in your life, you're going to have to stop tolerating your condition that you don't like and start wanting, desiring fiercely something different. All of us tend to settle in, and what we tolerate today becomes our experience tomorrow. So let me give you a couple little tips on desire and how you can turn up desire in your life. So the first thing is just to make sure that your goals in life really match your outcomes. Okay? So a lot of times people have goals because they think that they're things they should want, but they really don't. So society tells us all kinds of things like, hey, you've got to be rich and, skinny and good looking or whatever. I don't know. But it's a message to you that, hey, this is something you should want. And so a lot of times I see people make goals around those things. And you know what? That's not really what they're after. I was just talking with a gal in Uganda a couple weeks ago. Beautiful girl, very talented, studying communication at a university, has great presence and charisma. And she told me that she was in a deep depression because she had interviewed for a job with a local TV station because she really wanted to be on TV. And they gave her a shot as a news anchor. And she was on there 2 times as a news anchor and got fired. She had a lady producer who just didn't think that she cut it, and she fired her. And she told me, I feel like giving up there. I just feel like there's nothing I can do to attain my dream. And so I asked her, so, well, what's your dream? What is it that you really want? What's the outcome you're after? And she said, well, I want to be on TV. I want to be famous. And I said, okay, so you're on TV and you're on it every day and no one watches you. Is that the outcome that you're looking for? And she said, no, I want people to see me and I want to be well known. And I said, okay, well, what will that do for you? So let's pretend. I snap my fingers. You're now famous. You're on TV. What's next? Do you think that people who are famous and on TV don't have any desires anymore? And she said, well, not really. I said, okay, so what will being famous do for you? And she said, well, I think I'd feel better about myself. And she said, I really want to touch people's hearts. I want to talk to people. And I said, okay, now we're getting somewhere. So your desire is not really to be on TV. Your desire is to touch people. And you're hoping that if you do something significant with your life that you'll feel better. And I assured her, being famous will not do that for you. Look at all of the famous people who've been unhappy, who've committed suicide, who have felt empty. Simple fame and the adulation of people, it's not going to do it for you. Plus, people are fickle. One minute they love you, they think you're the greatest. The next minute they don't. So I told her, you need to set a goal that is around the outcome that you're looking for. You need to find a way to do it that can't be blocked by other human beings. Longing to be on that television network means that there's a whole lot of people who have to give you permission first to make that dream come true. And I told her, what you need to do is concentrate on what your real desire is and set goals around that, which is to talk to people and to touch their hearts. That's a goal that can't be blocked by others. And in fact, if you start small and you look for other means that don't need the permission of other people, like putting a video on Facebook, starting a YouTube channel, you can do amazing things. It's interesting to me that another way to increase desire goes right along with that. And it's simply this: you've got to water that as a seed. The things that you want, the things that you desire, are like a seed. You've got to water them. You've got to concentrate on them, focus on them, and then you've got to plant. You've got to do it little before you do it big. This is such a key. If you're faithful with something little, you'll be faithful over something much. I watch so many people who have big dreams that they never do diddly squat. You know why? Because all it is a big dream. At this stage of my life, I'm 52 years old. I've been around the block. You know what I'm in love with? Small. I'm in love with getting an idea and then saying, what's a small thing that I can do today to make that outcome come true? What's something I can do that's in my power and in the resource that I have in my hand right now to do that? Because if I can do that small, chances are I can do it big. Does that make sense to you? Why wait around? Go talk to someone today. I told that gal, I said, look, go talk to someone today. Give them some information. Touch their heart. Get used to doing that. If you do it on a small level, guess what? You can do it on a big level. You just got to start out. It's not enough to dream. You got to wake up and make the dream come true. So, one last thing. What I've noticed with people too in increasing desire is that the reason they do not allow themselves to desire things, they don't allow themselves to really hope and wish for something, is because they're so afraid of disappointment. You know, if I don't want anything, if I don't dream about achieving something or long for something, then guess what? I can't be disappointed. I won't be disappointed. I talk to people every week who are limiting themselves in what they do out of fear of disappointment. Now, that's really real. There's a powerful piece of ancient wisdom that goes like this. Hope deferred makes the heart sick. Hope deferred makes the heart sick. You wish and hope as a kid that you can go to Disneyland. You're hoping for it. It doesn't happen. It's deferred. And all of a sudden your heart's sick. And unfortunately, one of the ways that we react to that as human beings is just not to hope for anything anymore. And tell you what, you want to drain the passion out of your life? You want to suddenly have a gray existence in this beautiful world? Stop hoping for stuff. Now again, disappointment's painful. But the best way to recover from disappointment is to persevere in what you want, what you're longing for, and what you're going for. There's a powerful concept called self-efficacy. And self-efficacy is more than the power of positive thinking. It's actually believing that you can do something. I had a world-famous psychologist tell me, he said, Tim, self-efficacy, which is just the belief, hey, I can do that, I can achieve that. He said that he really believes that that's about 90% of the battle for success in certain things. So you got to believe. I know we've all heard corny messages, like, oh, just look in a mirror and say, I believe, I believe. And all of us know that it's just funky and doesn't work. But on a deep gut level, if you can say to yourself, for instance, take that gal that I was talking to in Uganda who wants to be on TV. If I can get her just to believe this, if I can say, hey, inch by inch is a cinch, yard by yard it's hard. Look, can you touch one person's heart today? Can you talk to someone somewhere, give them news, give them information, give them encouragement that will change their life? Can you do that? Yeah, I believe I can do that. Great, because if you can do it with one, then you can say, hey, do you believe you can do that with two people? Do you believe you can do that with a crowd of people? Do you believe you can do that with a huge audience of people? See, it all starts with small. Everyone wants to start big, and that's why often we don't do anything or we fail. I like to tell people in the businesses that I'm coaching, look, when you're trying stuff, fail fast and fail cheap. That means if you've got an entrepreneurial idea, don't throw millions of dollars at it. Find the way that you can try it cheaply, and if you fail, fail fast. I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that the key to a lot more success in life is just being willing to fail. Being willing to look stupid. Being willing to look like you don't know what you're doing. It's okay. Just fail cheap and fail fast. Turn up your desires today. Focus on what's the preferred state that you want. Write it down. Look at what you think is successful. There's something that all of us have experienced because it's in your makeup as a human being, and the acronym for it is RAS, and that stands for Reticular Activating System. And this is how that works. Reticular activating system is a part of your neural makeup, and what it is, I'll give you an example. It's if you look at something long enough, you kind of see it everywhere. I remember one time I was wading in a river that was full of fish. They were just swarming around, bumping my legs, and I kept looking at them as I waded this river with a friend, and we did it all afternoon. Well, that night when I would close my eyes, all I would see was fish swimming in front of me. That's RAS in action. I bought a VW Passat one time, and it was such a cool car, and I hadn't really paid attention to them before and kind of never saw them. And I saw this Passat, I got it, it was a great deal, I loved that car. Guess what? As soon as I bought that car, every time I drove down the highway, I saw Passats everywhere. Why? My RAS kicked in. There was something that happened in my mind that I was able to see something that I couldn't see before. Success leaves clues. Look for the clues. Fill your eyes with the right stuff. I'll tell you what, there's certain things about success that are more caught than taught. You need to hang around with some positive people who are successful and who are the kind of people who want to share that success and who can believe in you. Often those kind of people will believe in you more than you will believe in yourself. So I hope that today you get this desire to increase your desires, because it really is the key that's going to move you forward.